I sincerely feel, and I've talked to various people. Actually, this feeling started when I was attending my inspector's course, 1988. And we had a teacher who was called Mr. Kilonzo. Uh, he's the one, he also used to, by then he was a superintendent. He was one of the people who also were propagating for what I'm saying, although by now he has gone to see the Maker. The last time I talked about it was recently when I discovered that the National Police Service Commission has moved from Westlands and it has gone to CBD. So I was there, I went and presented my things. Some of the things we talk, they do happen. I'm grateful to the president that what he has been saying uh, tend to not to be very far from what what I've been uploading of late, and I think that is the way to go. That is the way to go. Maybe, maybe not. In future, the National Police Service will Commission will do what I'm saying, and which is why I have recorded this, because I'm not trying to say that I'm the one who tells the president to do this about abduction. National Police Service do this because no, I am alive to the fact that I'm not the only person who is thinking so. There are some people who also may be thinking the same. Even the National Police Service Commission itself may also be thinking so. So it is just that, and that is what happens. If you have something reasonable and you think about it, you don't have the monopoly of ideas. It even happens that maybe somebody else somewhere, and not somebody, many people may be also having those ideas, and they come to that. So in case what I'm saying here, in future it happens, it could be maybe they're listening to me, or even it could be a coincidence, but most likely, uh, I always say that the only time you have a monopoly of ideas is when you write a fictional account. That is when you can now say somebody has stolen my idea. But when you don't, but when yours is not a fiction, then you don't have a monopoly of ideas, right? Yes. So what I've always believed since April 1988 is that the Kenya Police should gazette all members of Inspectorate and above. Uh, for a long time, gazetted officers in the Kenya Police have been people of the rank of assistant superintendent onwards. But I have reasons for saying why inspectors of police have got to be gazetted, and I know where the rain started beating us, and that is why uh, I'll come and explain all the things. First of all, I think it is good to say how it started. Gazettement is not just gazettement. There is a lot of things I'll say, and I'll also talk in my capacity as NIS, how gazettement of inspectors can, as a member of the NIS, I can say, I without blinking my eyes, that there is need for inspectors and above to be what do you call, to be gazetted. But I'll come to that. Uh, as Kenya was in the late 50s, in the late 50s, 5 NCOs, 5 sergeants were made sub-inspectors. I only remember two. One was Michael Arum, and the other one was called Muturindari. Muturindari. Now, these 5 were made sub-inspectors, and we had European police officers and even Asians who were below the rank, who are NCOs or even constables. Now, there became a problem. They became a problem that Kenya was still a colony, and people started feeling that a European constable saluting an African, black African, was a problem. Was a problem. So they said, no, no, no. From today henceforth, no saluting of inspectors. No saluting of inspectors, unless maybe the inspector is acting as the OCS or something like that. But just an inspector, you don't salute him. That is, if you are a police officer today, ujue, you have known, and then don't forget the till number. So that is when they said, the what do you call, the there's no, from today henceforth, the person who must be saluted is chief inspector and above. In fact, they said chief inspectors must be saluted, but they never even went to an extent of making sure that the chief inspector is gazetted. No, they just said the chief inspector has to be saluted, but they did not even gazette. But then gazettement came later. I'll talk about that later. So they said that no saluting of inspectors. It has to be inspectors and above, and that thing is still there even today. You are not compelled to salute chief inspector. You are not compelled to salute anybody below the rank of chief inspector. So that is how it started, and that is how it is up to today. It was done, and I have to emphasize it. It was done with the purpose that the Europeans who were finding it hard to salute Inspector Michael Room and Inspector Muturindari. Muturindari was a Mumeru by tribe. Michael Room was a Luo. So it continued that way. But because the independence was approaching, out of the 5, I think two of them were promoted to chief inspector. Two of them, one of them was Michael Arum, and the other one I've forgotten the name. They were promoted to chief inspector. Then there was this question of, now the Wazungus who are supposed not to salute them must salute them. But then the colonialists felt that, and then Michael Arum was transferred to CID. I've met Michael Arum only once, and Michael Arum, before I even met him, he had risen to the rank of deputy commissioner of police. During his time, he was the only deputy commissioner of police. The head of GS used to report to him. He was a very intelligent person and whatever. And even the time when he was a chief inspector or even an inspector, he was very intelligent. But again, there came to, there are some problems you postponed, but you do not kill them. There was a problem that they had postponed because they said, no, we don't salute inspectors. You salute chief inspectors and above. When they said so, and that is when they said that now from today henceforth it is chief inspectors and above. They did not know that Michael Room and the 4 others were still young. And okay, Muturindari was old and he was approaching retirement. But then the 5 could also end up as chief inspectors. They foresaw that. They assumed that. They didn't follow it. So when they didn't follow that, in the 4 years, what do you say? They didn't follow that. In a few years, not 4 years, in a few years, Arum was promoted to chief inspector. Then there was the problem now. Now there was a problem of do we salute him? And that is when he was transferred to CID. Because CID, you could be a recruit from, just like NIS, you could be a recruit from Kiganjo today, but you cannot even, it is not mandatory for you to salute the director of CID. Unless, of course, there are no civilians there. Then you stand to attention. So that is how he was placed there. But then again, he was promoted to other ranks and whatever, and Kenya became independent. Around 1970, there was a Kenya Gazette where it was decided that all police officers of the rank of assistant superintendent and above, their names were to be placed in the Kenya Gazette. My father was one of them. There are so many people who later became who is who in the Kenya police appear on that Kenya Gazette of 1970. So nobody told me, but I came across that Kenya in my project of kuchimba historia ya Kenya. I came to that Kenya Gazette which showed that for example, if you are made as an assistant superintendent in 1964, now in 1970 your name was now appearing on the Kenya Gazette. So it is after that it was decided that all from a rank of assistant superintendent and above should be made gazetted officers. That is where things now went bad, because even in the AP, they salute inspectors and above. But in general duties, in what you people call Kenya Police Service, they only salute chief inspectors and above. But you see, let me tell you the truth, that the donkey work in Kenya Police is done by the members of the Inspectorate. The members of Inspectorate do the donkey work. If you see NCOs, corporals and sergeants and senior sergeants, these are deployment officers. Deployment officers are people whom it is said that we need 7 constables to go and for Mama Pima. We also need 3 constables to do this and this. So the NC is told, can you look for 3 people to go and check whether that kichochoro has banged butlers or something like that. That is the work that is done by NCOs as deployment officers. They are just told, we need 3 constables to do this, we need 5, whatever. They do the deployment. But the decision on what to do, when to do, where to hide, what type of so many things, it is done by members of the Inspectorate. So they do the donkey work. The members of Inspectorate are the officers in charge of all police stations. And I can tell you, apart from internal police work like personnel or anything, but police work, personnel is everywhere, even in factories. But police work, 90%, 95%, let me correct myself, is done at the police station area. Let's say, if today you are to go to the police station and inquire about people who are arrested in that police station, and you pursue the cases where they went, find that almost all of them enter the police station, because you find when somebody has been arrested, that is when they settle, and then the complainant comes and withdraws the case, such things vitu kama hizo. So and you find that even anybody who is jailed for life or anything has to pass through the police. So the OCS handles a lot of things. We have somebody we used to call OC crime, but today there is called OC anti-crime branch. These are the people who do the investigation. Any statement that is written wrongly, anything that is, or even the fingerprints are taken, everything is done by OC crime. OC crime is who? A member of Inspectorate. In traffic, we have people called base commanders. These are people who do the donkey work of the police force. Assistant Superintendent of Police and above, all the way to Inspector General, are usually, okay, in police is quite different from other discipline work, because the power of arrest that the Inspector General has is the same as the power of arrest that a constable has. The only difference between various people from various ranks is that an NCO, corporal sergeant, senior sergeant, these are people who do the deployment. They do the deployment. We are expecting people to riot or demonstrate. I think demonstrate is a better word, on such a street. So major, sergeant major, can you get me 10 people for crowd control? We are having a football match at the stadium. Corporal, can you look for 2 people to go for crowd control at the stadium? So NCOs are people who do the deployment. Inspectorate do the donkey work. Assistant superintendent all the way to inspector general, these people do the personnel work. They do the personnel work. Assistant superintendent and above. These are the people who sit down and decide one police station has fewer people than the other and whatever. But the person, even, okay, now I think I want to talk now as an NIS officer. Look at it this way. The OCS, and it used to happen to me. Imagine West Pokot, I was only 18 months old in the place, but the kind of intelligence I was coming across was equivalent to only it was called Wilfred Hati Kera. I'm forgetting the name of the OCP. He's the only one who had the same intelligence as I am. The deputy OCPD, who was called Chief Inspector Karianjahi, the OCS, who was Chief Inspector Sibweche, had no intelligence the way I had, and I had only been 16 months in the force. You see? And you see the OCS, even the officer, the inspector in charge of is the person who is supposed to do what? To do the intelligence. You know, intelligence-based crime prevention is better. It's better. And I found it a bit hard to discuss with an OCS because of the security clearance. Security clearance from NIS is that you talk only to gazetted officers. You share the notes with them. But you are supposed to share with the OCS. You are supposed to share with the OC crime. You are supposed to. Not even that. During training, I took it upon myself. Some people think that I started these things recently. No, 1988 when I was attending inspector's course, we did not have social media. The class that I was with, I took it upon myself to tell them, and they were even telling me, Bwana, are you not telling us more than what you're supposed to tell? I told them, I even used to tell our teachers the scope, the mandate of our work. I used to share with them because it was good for the country. The reason why I also I've said that the inspectorate are the one who do the donkey job, isn't it? And I also want to say that apart from them doing the donkey job, if today the National Service Commission does what? If today the National Service Commission decides to gazette the inspectorate, it would mean that when you are being trained as an inspector, the NIS will send a teacher. NIS will send a teacher. Now in Kiganjo, I don't know how many classes are there for inspectorate, but he would deal with one class in 1 week or even 2 weeks, then move again, or they could even send 20 people, deal with all the classes in the 2 weeks, and then go back, so that when somebody is coming out as an inspector, he is properly trained in it. How to gather intelligence, how to handle intelligence, what you have. You may find that an OCS has an intelligence, but he does, somebody was saying it's like guashe in the farm. Guashe in the farm is useless unless you take it out of the farm and give it to, and go take it to the market to sell, isn't it? So the guashe, you, the farmer, needs the cash, and the consumer needs the guashe. How do you exchange? First of all, you are a farmer and you don't know whether that guashe can give you money, isn't it? The OCS, the OC crime, the base commander should be should have the capability of intelligence gathering, the capability of intelligence sharing, and the capability of intelligence handling if they are trained and briefed on intelligence. That is why I so feel. And Kenya has changed. Kenya has changed to an extent that some of the things that I've been talking, I would have met Jesus a long time ago. But Kenya is open and we are sharing ideas and we are sharing whatever. I believe that one day that thing comes to frustration. Thank you.